I'm here with Blair Young, our head of technology at WINstorm, and we're going to take you through version 4.1, which is our latest and greatest version of WINstorm.
Alright, so as you can see, we have a new graphical user interface, just a little bit cleaner. We've got a header and a footer, and a lot of this has just been based around improving workflow. We've tucked account management and logout and a lot of things like that up in the top right under that gear. And help is now offered in a variety of ways by hovering over things, by clicking this training item in the bottom bar. That'll load up a comprehensive user manual. So this support is going to automatically create a ticket in our ticketing system where we can track it and respond to it more effectively. And for any other thing that you need to contact us about, please just use this contact form. So that's just a little easier now to get in contact with us. Nothing really new here on project, although we will get into the configurator. There's some changes in here. Again, the GUI, the graphical user interface, has been changed to be a little more consistent with our blue. And the next step there, and you can see that it's basically the same as what we had before. We've optimized the space a little bit. The next step also mostly has the same things as before, although now the colors are actually displayed and the box changes to the side, so you know what you're actually working with colors-wise. You now have control over the image padding, and those are some examples of how you could do that. You can now choose the font for the email, which is at the bottom here. And then on the next step, we've added a few more link support. You'll notice these little eyeball icons on the right-hand side, and those allow you to open whatever's typed in there. We've also added those last three items, TripAdvisor, Foursquare, and Instagram. As well, under this extra links area, we do have another extra link, and again, they have the eyeball icons, and you do see that there's an alignment variable at the top. So these two links can be grouped in the center, or they can be on the far right with the other follow us links. Beyond that, on the next step, well, first of all, we split this one step into two. It used to be called Advanced, and now it's Metadata and Other. Specifically, you have your metadata, your project logo. On the last step, really the only thing that's happened here is we've reduced the complexity by taking out unnecessary yes-no prompts.
So that's the configurator, and I think that what we want to emphasize is that the configurator is now by project, so that you can create templates and logos specifically designed on a per project basis. So that was a big change in our current version.
So under the next step, select WINstorm, the main thing that's changed here is there's a search bar now at the top left. That allows you to quickly filter this large list. So I have several hundred items in here. But you can see how just typing in any word, you can search for an ID, you can search for your tags.
And you'll find everything that's demo.
That's right. So let's move on into the edit step. And you'll see now on the top bar we have the Save button and the View button are in the center. They're omnipresent through all of these steps, through media and all the sub-steps. The View button allows you to quickly see the original until you save it again. So as long as that says saved in green, you'll be able to click that. As soon as you make some changes, you will get a prompt saying, you haven't saved your changes, and you're not going to see what you've changed yet. So one thing you might point out just quickly to maybe demonstrate that is the nav menu is now editable on the left-hand side. When we start making some changes in here, or we reorder the nav menu, you see that the save bar turns red, and if we go click the View button now, it'll say your changes. So, you're still allowed to. Maybe you want to see what it started with. What was the original order of that nav menu? Let me just see where we were. Or you can save it and then view it after. So, you might have noticed also that the save step closes automatically now when it finishes saving. So you don't have to deal with that. And the View button obviously isn't in there now. It's omnipresent up at the top. So beyond those changes, you might notice that the layout itself has changed. So in this case, the image is along the top. That's because in our design, the one that we selected back in the configurator, that's the design, as you can see here. This front end and this match each other as closely as possible. Yes, the nav menu shows you the galleries, which in themselves are new. We didn't have galleries before. You can see that we used to have images and videos and attachments, and now we've kind of combined those into one called media. When you do look at it, there's a search bar in the middle there, which allows you to now find things more quickly, just like our selected WINstorm steps. So if you know the ID or you've put metadata in, like if you've named people, you can find those. There's those check marks that Joe just showed, so that's how you are able to see images, videos, and audio. There's a little icon on the side there that shows if it's a video or audio, and of course if it's a thumbnail image, it's an image. In addition to the folders, we now have an all option, which allows you to see every asset that meet your filters. So in other words, don't sort it by folder. Now we've got 1,732 assets. That was when we had all the media types on. So you can see it's filtering in, and now if you use your search bar, it's going to be searching all folders across, in this case, those, well, all 3 media.
We do have a manual that's online, and we will be providing specific tutorials on each of the WINstorm sections. So we will go deep in the media tab and provide advanced training. We'll have webinars. So not to worry right now if this is a little overwhelming. We will go into greater detail.
Certainly if you consider the edit media. So if you click edit now, we have an improved cropper, so that just allows you to specify the size of the crop, generate a new image. If you go to the scale tool, you're able to size things down. I mean, these were small images to begin with. If we lastly go to text, and these features are only available for images naturally, but this allows you to put images or text on the images themselves. You're able to add multiples if you wanted to, and then you can delete. And they can be different colors, if stuff like that. So it's a very simple way of potentially adding a message to your image if you don't have Photoshop or something like that. Move just allows you to organize this asset, and the metadata is what our search tool will be looking at. So it's important to fill that in if you actually want to find your assets more easily.
Yeah, we'll get into more detail on that, but this is a significant upgrade. The media handler that Blair and his team have been working on over the last 4 to 6 months has been a dramatic upgrade to the product. And let's move on, Blair.
Sure. So delivery, not a lot has changed here. The banner library has become much more like the image library. It has similar thumbnails, and more importantly, when you upload it, you can put in, or sorry, when you edit it, you get the crop and the scale, the text features. So you can do the image functions with banner images naturally.
Good.
Okay. Yeah. The recipient step, the thing that's changed primarily is the validator is now part of this step. So instead of having to leave and go back and forth, again, part of our improvement, so when you validate, it's just on the side there. You can revalidate, and there is a limit of 1,000, so when you paste more than that, it will tell you that, and you then want to go and use CSV mode on the side. Again, there will be tutorials for things like this. The last thing is that the send prompt is a little more informative. Of course, we have changes that need to be saved. If there are any steps that we have missed, like filling in a subject line or putting in at least a recipient, you would have been forced to do that. The last thing really is just when you click send itself there, it'll tell you how many recipients or what CSV file exactly. So you're going to send to this many from this CSV file, which is very helpful because a lot of people have accidentally sent something, so it's important that you know what you're sending and to how many people.
Great.
And of course, then it sends you back. So that's it.
Yep. Thank you, Blair. We are launching on Thursday, April the 17th. Chances are you're watching this either on Thursday or shortly thereafter. Please remember that we do have an omnipresent training and support and contact area down bottom right. So if you have any issues, if you have any bugs to report, please do so in the support section, and by all means contact the marketing and sales team from this section here. Thanks again, Blair, and we hope everyone enjoys the new version 4.1.